all the guys probable are now likely.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've gotten healed up pretty good. I don't see any injury that'll keep anybody out except for the guys that are season-ending stuff. So we'll see.
What kind of reaction did you get from them? And we also had the drive where you kind of gave them the speech of there's a difference between hurt and injured. What kind of reaction did that engender?
Well, I think it was good. I think all you got to do is look at the injury report after Portland State, and then again after Ohio State. Went from 16 guys not practicing on Monday to 2. 16 not practicing after the Portland State game and 2 not practicing after Ohio State. So I think they got the message. That's part of our culture that we got to change. Guys got to learn to work through things. It's college football, and obviously our number one issue or concern rather is player safety. And if somebody's injured, we're going to take care of them. We got the best medical staff, anywhere in the country, and so we're going to make sure we take good care of the players. But at the same time, if you've got a sprained ankle, you need to get out there and push through it.
How do you think Kyrie and Brennan Bigelow responded to the talks that you had with them?
Well, I have talks like that with guys all the time. That's 10 times a day, just not on television all the time.
What's your team's mood right now, heading up here?
Good. I think we're excited to go play. I think we're hungry. I think we felt like we hadn't played our best, and so you want that from your team. You want a team that's chomping at the bit to go out and compete against a good team, and and we'll see if we do it.
They're awfully good. What has to happen for you to perhaps win the game? Because I'm sure as players and coaches, you're figuring out a plan that allows you to win, not just to be competitive.
Yeah. We've got to win the turnover battle for sure. Got to create some turnovers. They haven't turned it over once this year, and we have too many times. And so we've got to do that, and it'll give us some extra possessions. And then we've got to get some stops defensively. Got to do a better job on third down, limit the big plays, try to get off to a little better start. And then, and then on offense, we've got to finish drives. That's the biggest issue we face this year offensively is haven't done great in the red zone, and I think part of it is we've got to run the football better, and you got to be able to run it when you get down there. And second of all, I think we've got to execute a little bit better as well. So
fair to say you're not going to beat them with a bunch of field goals?
I wouldn't think so. You don't ever know. I'm sure last year, people thought that the Stanford game was going to be a high-scoring game in a lot of ways, and it wasn't. So you just don't know in football. The way they're scoring now, I would think we'd have to score some points just because that's what they're doing. But, strange things happen all the time.
Jared's obviously doing a nice job, but one area that he's kind of missed on is some of the deep balls. Has he made any strides in the? Yeah,
I think so. I think what happens sometimes with young quarterbacks is they try to be perfect on throws, and you've got to understand that the goal is to complete the pass. Don't worry about throwing it perfectly or hitting the guy in stride. When you get behind him, the goal is to get a completion. And so, that's a process typically with those young guys because, again, I think they do try to throw a perfect pass, and he doesn't need to throw a perfect pass.
Is your defense ready to sort of, not a statement game so much, but just to be competitive? And they're awfully good offensively, but
yeah.
To make a step up now and
yeah. I think they're scoring 60-something a game or 61 a game, and so they're obviously moving the ball pretty well and scoring points, and I think they're giving up 6.5. So they've had a decent margin of victory. I think 55 points on average, 54 points, something like that. So the thing is we want to do is get the game into a competitive game. We've played in a couple of those this year. They haven't, and I think if we can do that, maybe we'll have an advantage just because we've had that experience of having some hard-fought games.
How important is it to really get the run game going? Is this a game that you think you can win with under, say, 150 yards, or do you guys really need to get the run game going?
It certainly help us. Yeah, it certainly help us. It's, I don't know that there's ever a magic number of yards that you need, and there's a lot of factors at the end of the day that contribute to having yards and not having yards. But, the better we can run the ball, the better we'll move the football.
What are your thoughts on the possibility of some rain? What do you think that could affect the passing game?
We've always felt like that the rain helped us. Just because we kind of know where we're going and the defense doesn't. And so I think in a lot of ways a slick field has been advantageous to our offense. We've never had any issues throwing and catching the ball in the rain. So it shouldn't be a big deal. And, it's going to be, it's both ways, whether it's hard on us or hard on them. The wind will be more of an issue than the rain if there's wind. And that's pretty typical of
The
football
best
games.
effect of the weather for you might be the impact it has on their crowd, I would think, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're used to that. I mean, it rains 350 days a year, so I don't think a little rain's gonna slow anybody down.
Sounds like we're good.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Safe travel.